Hello, it's me again, Brandon, doing some Edgeland solo with Tristan Blight, who has just been cut off on his way to the train station to get out of this zone. Now, thinking back, I bet that security guard that he just sliced up right before leaving the compound had radioed for help in some sub-audible way, and so the two security officers that he runs into are from the compound, and they are two that have tracked him and cut him off. Now, I had rolled really poorly. I had rolled a 1 on my pushed roll, so not only did I take a damage, but I was ambushed. So yeah, that's not good. So I am hurt. I am not particularly in a good place. I have to get past these guys. Chances are they're armored, just like the guy that was at the gate. Now, I don't have anything that told me there were two of them. I'm just going by like whatever makes sense in my head as I'm playing. In order to keep the page count down for Edgeland, I didn't really want to add a bunch of oracles for solo play, like how many enemies there are and what they're wearing. But you know, if in the future it's demanded, I'll do that. I mean, there are tons of things on drive-thru that you can buy that will help you determine those, or tons of books you can have that will help you determine those. So I don't really know if it's needed, but you know, if it is, in the future I'll make it happen. I just happen to be a more narrative. I imagine that squad cars left the compound looking, and these people just happened to find him. They were cutting him off the train station as one of the possible exit points of the zone. His best chance right now is to cut his way through, but I don't really want to do that because against two people, I have no stems at all. Now, like I said, you can use any method to do anything that would logically make sense with it. And so somebody who like wanted to do something like acrobatics or athletics could use blade because they've been trained physically. They could use heavy, which is like a boxer, because they've been trained physically. They could use soldier. I would even say they could use sneak, even though sneak is a little bit more like they're not seeing you, but if you were in a pinch, you probably could. Now he has a 3 blade. He can't use his cybernetics because it's on the fritz and it's been damaged. So, but he still has 5 dice, as opposed to if he just tried to run past. He's got 2 damage here. He'd have 4 dice. So I think I'm just going to try to run past them and not get in a fight. So I have my 3 from blade. Now my 3 from blade. My 2 from strength. And I believe that's all I get. Not a happy day in Blight's life. He is just going to try to get around them with 1 roll. Yeah, that is not a happy day. Oh no, I got a 6. I just didn't see it when it in the roll. Cool. So he does. He gets around them. I think he comes around, sees them. They're like doing the freeze, using their car as more shielding, and he just cuts left right away. And I'm going to try to explore past them. So I got past them. Now I'm going to try to explore forward. But it's still a bad roll because he is still just getting his 3 blade but now he's running, so he only has his one base because he's hurt. So we'll do that. Whew, I got it. So he cuts down an alley. They come running after him, but he's already gone. He's like skipped through a couple more alleys and finally gets to the train station. Whew. Now I have this card. He's going to try to get it through, jump on a train, and get through the gates before they show up. So I have a hacker of 1, remember, because he's using this pre-hacked card, the zone pass. And if he can get through it, he'll have time to get away. Security typically can't travel zones either without certain ability or certain permissions, and so just because of the fiction, everything is very locked down. No one has the right to travel unless they have special permissions. So if you're security in a certain zone, you live in that zone, that's your zone. So unless I roll really bad. And then but I do have lots of wits. I'm only taking 1 damage to my wits, so I have 4. Let's roll that. Yes. That works. Now, this was an explore roll here, so hacks, so I do succeed in hacking through, but only if I overcome an obstacle. Okay. If I overcome an obstacle. What is it though? What is it? What is the obstacle? Let's look in the rules. Let's go back down to this chart right here and roll a d6-6. 31. Mystery. I don't think that really works right here. So I'm just going to reverse it. Instead of 31, I'm going to take a 13. And it's more guards. There's a guard. And I'm going to see if he can just run past, slide through, and just get out. No, we know the card's going to work. So all he has to do is get through the guard. Should we do this like jumping past them, sliding the key card through the while scanning it over the sensor, and then like busting through the zone and disappearing? I think that's what we should do. Okay. We're just gonna run around him again. Action. Now what I was about to say was, or what when you succeed on a roll, you picture what the character wants, and that's what happens. So I can dodge down an alley and escape. I can run past the security guards. I don't have to fight them as long as I'm succeeding. If I fail in a roll, or I get ones, then there's a complication before I can succeed. If I completely fail, then no, I didn't get what I wanted. They're surrounding me. Or if I fail with ones, then they shoot me. That type of thing. But as long as I am succeeding, I'm getting what I want, and I can imagine it any way I want to. And I don't really want to fight because I think that Mr. Twitch, Mr. Blight, is going to die if he gets in a fight. And this game is highly lethal in that way. So now he's going to slide past this guard. And I'm going to do it with my 2 strength. Because I'm still hurting. My 3 blade. I'm going to roll that. I did it. Now an action roll follows the standard rule year 0 rules. So that 1 means nothing to me unless I push. I slide through him, past him. I scan my zone pass. The doors open. I get on the train. I take off. It takes off with me, and I'm free. Now, if I wanted to, I could continue the chase into my zone, but I think that's a really nice summary of the adventure, the mission. I think it's going to make him a target, again, for the Martel Company, if their relationship with the mission, which is the blade group that's after him, is tight, but I don't know yet. So one of the things I like to do, but yeah, I don't know yet. It could be nothing, it could be something. They could have just been hired out by the mission to try to lure me out of my zone to kill me, or anything like that. But I think that's it. I think we're going to stop the mission there. Because he did complete the mission, even though it was a setup, I think he's going to get his 1 gain. I think Martel's going to be like, well, he did it, and they have to maintain their honor, so they give him their gain. And so I added that on my character sheet right here. Right there. It doesn't mean anything now, it just means he has some more money, but ultimately his credit's still a D8. And now he's going to want to go home and rest up and heal, and then eventually he's going to want to go get this cybernetic fixed. Damaged. Because it is out right now. So there are other ways that I could have mitigated some of this damage. So for instance, the reason that gear dice and attribute dice are all both considered base dice is because then you can choose whether you're gear or you take damage when you do push and you roll those ones. But I find that through playing that I only damage my guns or my blades when I'm in a really sticky situation, because once you don't have a weapon, it's harder to get past all that armor. But anyways, that's essentially how you solo play with the Edgeland rules. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's a couple things that if I was going to continue this character, and I probably will, but I'm going to take a little break probably to switch to other games and show people how I roleplay solo my other games. But if I was going to continue, there's things I would take from other games. For instance, in Witch and Knave, there is the story oracle, so I would make a chart. I'd go into my character notes, usual entry, twist in the story oracle, create a journal entry. I could create this anywhere, I don't have to do it in the notes, but I just like notes. And then I make a list, just a quick chart. And then I list things about him so that are important to his story. Oops, shortcutting it. For instance, and you could also do a D66, for this if it gets bigger. But things like, if I don't know why something's happening, I roll on the story oracle to help inform me. So like friends or lover, or then the mission. The mission's always important. Sangi Corp is his main bad guy. And then Martel helped double cross. And he hurt their guards. And then what else? I'm gonna probably leave these other two blank for now, because that's what's going on in his life, right? Sanity Corp, revenge from other, that type of thing. The mission, stop their attacks or hide from them is what he's trying to do. So like if I'm rolling and I don't know why something's happening, I go and I roll on this chart to let me know what it is. I would probably also end up creating things like 10 common NPCs, and I would stat them up based on the world. So this one would be harder. This world's a little hard because everybody is different. So if I'm gonna flesh out this world, I might take time to just go ahead and make like 8 ancestries and give them names, or I could create a name chart for how to randomly generate ancestry names and just start plugging them in. Things that speed up my workflow so I don't have to be like, oh, well, I'm going to assign this guy's stats right now, and I don't know what armor he's going to have, so I'll just assign armor, or I'll have it listed, or random gear charts, or anything like that to help me speed up going through the game and not having to just narrate it off the top of my head. But other than that, it's just as deadly and smooth as it would be if you played it with a group. With the group, the game master makes all that stuff up, and everybody else rolls the rolls. It's a lot less deadly with a group, but it's still like it's still pretty traumatizing to some of the characters. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out. I'm always available. You can find me wherever I am. See you on the flip side.